But I guess I see the point she was trying to make. But yeah, my man Jordan was ready, and yo, I gotta have Jordan. Like Spider-Man stuff, he is officially hired
Oh
as
my
like the
God.
consultant.
Oh
Like
my
when he
God.
started bringing up the comparisons from the book and all that other good stuff, man, yo, I was really into it, man. Well, I guess before I was hoping to maybe talk a little X-Men, but I know you haven't seen it, Anthony, but you have seen the Green Lantern first episode, which does drop tomorrow. Now we got to do spoil free right now, man. Let's go ahead and move spoil free forward as it pertains to this project because I ain't seen it yet. I don't think you've seen it yet, right, Ty?
How could I if it hasn't come out till tomorrow?
I mean, you never know. You never know.
Ed didn't hit us and was like, "Yo, hey," you know what I'm saying? So look, no, I have not seen it. I have not.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. So all I want to know and is, are we going to watch the episode and then say, okay, I cannot wait for the next episode, or are we gonna watch it and be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so that's what we're doing, huh? Okay.
And you're muted. You're muted, and you're muted.
You muted, brother.
Honestly, it depends. It depends on what your expectations are, right? Like if you have certain expectations of what you think this show should be about, maybe you walk away disappointed, but if you walk into it and you're just like, all right, I'm just going to see what kind of show they're making, all right, then you might just be like in for the long haul and want to continue to see where they go with things. It's a very much what you guys see in the trailer, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot, man.
Yeah.
I gotta run to the bathroom.
You gotta run.
Oh wow, he got to run.
I gotta tickle. Sorry, y'all got it.
It's right on schedule. It's that time. What time is it? 12:14. Every Saturday at 12:14.
This is tinkle time for Ben. Hey yo, so Ed, like, is this the traditional good cop, bad cop, Beverly Hills, cop, slash, lethal weapon? Is this that? Is this what we're about to dive into?
It's a little. I would say throughout the show, I did get some Lethal Weapon. I got some Rush Hour. I got some, like it's a weird combination of a bunch of different things to make the Green Lantern universe inhabit. So it's interesting that you put lanterns in this world, but it is a full world, like you said.
Are we dealing with basic? Because I know you only saw one episode, but based off the first episode, are we dealing with comedy? Are we dealing with action? Are we dealing with a lot more drama than you?
All right, let me give you my raw review because I feel it coming. I'm gonna feel it coming. All right, so honestly, like there's a couple of different things I wanted to address when I watched the show. A couple things I wanted answered. How do I feel about Aaron Pierre? How do I feel about him in this world as our John Stewart? And when I ended the episode, I'm still feeling the same way as I started the episode. I don't know yet. Wow. How do I feel about Hal Jordan? He's not what I expected, but he's all right. He's all right. He's cool. And I'm curious as to what direction they're going to go, because every once in a while they do this thing where as Green Lantern fans, you hear little things that pique your interest. You hear like Oa, what you know about the Guardians? And you're like, oh yeah, I know about the Guardians. And like, they do that kind of little thing. You have that happen, and that's kind of cool. But it's very grounded in an Earth-based story. This is a story about these two people trying to solve a mystery, and it's in a small town, and that's the story we're following. So I don't know what direction they're gonna go for sure. Oh, and that's one thing they did one twist I didn't see coming. Keeping with every cinematic adaptation, they're making really big changes to some of these characters' origins and their powers. So some of the origin changes kind of threw me off.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure if I'm against it. I'm gonna go with it right now to see how it serves the story.
Yo, here's what I know. They can't mess with a few things when it comes to Lantern Corps. All right. They've already messed with it a little bit, you know, and we're not going to get into the whole debate and, you know, the whole, you know, the hue and all of that. We've already said our pieces on those, but he's got to be military. That's non-negotiable. He's got to be a marksman. That's non-negotiable. And he's got to be, you know, at least when they do finally get him to his full powers, one of the illest with the ring, you know what I'm saying? Surpassing Hal Jordan even with the way that he wields his ring powers. So I'm just making sure that they don't, as long as they don't make him some, you know, pardon the word, but simp or some sort of dude who's like they got to show. I was expecting, from my expectations, you tell me what you think in Ty, and I'm really eager to see this tomorrow because this is now going to be our Sundays. But I'm expecting this to be more of a John Stewart origin story. Like, that's what I was expecting from this production, because we're getting Hal Jordan, who I'm assuming is the veteran Lantern, right? And I'm assuming that Aaron Pierre is playing the newly ring designated Green Lantern of the new Green Lantern Corps. I'm okay with the True Detective story based with these two, because I assume that at some point we will go to space. And I don't mind them not kicking us off in space. That gives more room for growth. But what I don't want is for him to be, specifically for Jordan, not Hal Jordan, but for, God damn it, John Stewart. Brain fart. I just hit it for the first time. Like, as soon as I hit it once, the memory immediately. I just hit it one time, like literally just once. And my memory is like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. So with John Stewart, that's that. So without giving away, I guess, too much, will we be like watching it like man,
you know, without giving away too much, but can you confirm if they keep his origin? Can you tell us if they change things about John?
I mean, I don't want to know the end. I don't want to know the beginning, but I do want to know. Like, I'm a guy that likes to have my expectations set at the right place, so that when I go in to see something,
let me ask you a question. You're talking about your expectations of John. You know, here's one thing that I hear all the time. We just had this long conversation about Spider-Man Brand New Day, and everybody's problem with that story was Jean Grey. My problem with Spider-Man throughout the MCU has always been Peter Parker. They change origins as long as they stay true to the character. Are you happy? Right? Are you happy with Tom Holland as Spider-Man? Yeah, okay, because even though he doesn't have a Harry Osborn, even though he doesn't have Betty Brant, even though he doesn't work at the Daily Bugle, even though he doesn't go to Empire State University, even though he doesn't, even though he's not a photographer, even though we don't get to see him broken struggle as much as we probably should. We know he ain't got a job, but somehow he's got a place to live. You know, but we still love Tom Holland.
Time out, because you just a bunch of mistruths just now. Like you're speaking about Tom Holland only, because he literally got damn near all of those characters in every other iteration of Spider-Man.
Yes, but I'm just talking about Tom Holland only, right? But in he's the face of Spider-Man, right? Every other iteration follows after him. So
I'm just saying, like it like the way that they I see the point you're making. I think that I think she's going. Okay. I think that Hal Jordan and John Stewart have a little bit of a different entry grace period, even though that's not the right word I'm looking for, but a little bit of grace that they're going to get because of, look, the Lantern Corps is a niche, is a cult following. All right. Not everybody's familiar with our sector. Not everybody's familiar with these folks.
2814.
You don't go into it thinking like, oh, I know they did. Like, there's only a few folks that I know that will kill you over misquoting anything with regard to Lantern. Look,
sometimes I stay ready. I keep that thing close. Certain things. My Spider-Man mask, my Power Rangers morpher, and my Green Lantern ring, I keep close, man.
I know that's right. I ain't mad at that at all, friend. But I think that the kind of like Spider Noir, right? Where they essentially flipped his story. None of it is comic book related. They just said, you know what, we're just going to do this in a different universe and can't nobody really fuck with us. I feel like this is kind of the same thing where Green Lantern is like, yeah, you're going to get the folks that pop out of the woodwork. It's like, nope. In comic book number 2, but most people are like, oh, this is cool. Oh shit, there's that light-skinned dude that I like from that one show on that one movie on Netflix. Like most people are just going to watch it just because of Aaron Pierre, let's be honest, being involved. Not most, a lot will. And as far as the story goes, they just got to make it interesting enough and include the ring's powers. They don't necessarily, they don't even have to really give origin. Although you can tell from the previews that origin's in it.
You know what? I'm going to say what I feel like the real responsibility of this show right now is to justify the DCU's relevance in light of what Marvel is cooking right now. Ooh. Right now, the DCU is in a space where it needs something to give it some more oomph, right? Nobody reacted the way they wanted them to Supergirl, and Lanterns is their like HBO. They're pushing this as their flagship show, right? Like this is their flagship show for the season, for the year.
I think
it needs to hit for them.
Yo, well, Ty, you will agree with me that they are doing it right by having it the week after the finale of HBO's House of the Dragons finale, because folks are going to have a show hold for Sundays. They've already Sundays. I don't know what time of day I'm gonna watch it, but at some point in time, I'm gonna plan to watch House of Dragon, and then the following week you're like, fuck, and now we got Green Lantern Corps. So all they got to do is just can't suck. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Corps, not Green Lantern Corps.
Lanterns.
This is what I'm saying, right? Because I want to know what your expectations are. You're letting your expectations be known. You are a Green Lantern fan. You're like, no, I want the core. That's deep Green Lantern right there. Like to know about the core is another level Green Lantern fan. You went above.
Listen, it's gonna have the core in it. We already know that they've got Hal. Go ahead, Ty. My bad.
I was just gonna say to Anthony's point, the fact that they called the show Lanterns is opening the door to all the spectrum of lanterns that exist.
So the red lanterns, the yellows,
the yellow lanterns, like all of the blue lanterns, all of the lanterns in terms of the spectrum of lanterns that encompasses, that one word encompasses all of those. So if in fact that is the route that the show is going, then you start getting into some real villains and real, storylines that they can kind of dive into. Like I'm with you in terms of the timing, right? HBO and not just the timing, right? I'm also looking at the platform in which these shows are coming on. HBO, if I'm just being honest, their shows hit. Their shows almost always hit. And I feel like with the fact that we've already acclimated ourselves back to that Sunday, that 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, time gap. We know that we're ready for more. Oh, House of Dragons gone. Oh, what's this new show? And to your point, most of the people that are going to watch this show and Vince are not going to be comic book fans. They are going to be fans of Aaron Pierre. He has designated himself Mufasa. He has been designated.
That's something else we got to talk about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like this, there is. I know my wife in particular. Yeah. As soon as I tell her, that she's gonna be on it. Does she know the first thing about Jon Stewart? Absolutely not.
Nope.
She know the story of the Lantern Corps? Absolutely not. What she's gonna know, what she's gonna be looking to see is if he's got a sweatsuit on, like,
yeah,
or like, yo, what is he wearing? Like, what is he?
Yeah,
is he shirtless in this episode? I'm here.
Yeah,
so
literally.
There's gonna be a lot of women that kind of pull up to that, and men, you know. But the thing about it is this, right? You said it. As long as this show doesn't suck, as long as they don't fall off the side of the map with this show is not only gonna hit, but it's gonna hit big because it's on the platform that I just told you doesn't miss. Every show that they headline on HBO has hit and has hit usually in the first season. Now, what does that mean? The second season will be the same. That's yet to be seen. But Peacemaker, Penguin, I can go back. Sopranos, The Wire, Boardwalk Empire, what was the one with every show.
Well, one of my favorites was the Watchmen. With Regina King.
Watchmen.
Lovecraft Country, of course.
Lovecraft Country.
You can't forget about. But yeah. So needless to say, big things. I would be even interested if you guys are down for it, maybe Monday, any time of day, you know, just chatting on what we thought about it after we get a chance to see it. Maybe me and you, Ty, since you know we ain't had a chance to see it yet, you know.
Damn, man.
the shade is real. Damn. But that brings me to another topic, man, because obviously we looking forward to seeing Aaron Pierre as the Green Lantern, bringing a comic book character to life that we always love. But there's some other worlds where there's been some people casted and it isn't necessarily getting the most the best responses. Are you guys familiar with this? The new Black Panther evidently is going to be the guy from The Long Walk. And there's a lot of mixed feelings about this. I have to say, I don't know if I've seen too much positive on it with regard to the casting. Or heard much about it. What are y'all thoughts? Oh, well.
He is going to be the new Black Panther, but not the new T'Challa, correct?
He's T'Challa Jr.
He's the boy that was in Black Panther 2 at the end with Nakia. That's who he grows up to be. This young man.
Okay, so the answer to that is. No, he is not the original T'Challa. He is
correct. He's not replacing the T'Challa that we. Right.
I mean,
he's not replacing the character. He's not like coming in actually going to be. Come on, look.
Yeah,
he's not. He's not coming in to be who.
He can't be the son. He can't.
You don't think he's going to marry Storm? You don't think they cast him and Storm to be age appropriate on purpose?
Well, what is that? But what? So then, what he's gonna be? So if that, because then that makes. So you're saying he's the son of T'Challa.
That he's gonna sit here and start beefing with Namor for killing his grandmama and drowning that town and taking over all of T'Challa's stories.
Oh shit! All right, okay. Look, listen. Everything you're saying is fine. But here's what we have. Here's what I think Black Panther fans have to accept about MCU Black Panther. And this is a harsh truth. So just look me in my eyes and let me just say this to you so that you don't get this misconstrued. Chadwick Boseman was one of the best actors of our lifetime, and he's no longer around. And that, unfortunately, does not mean that his character that he portrayed can't still have a legacy. this is not Black Panther. This is Black Panther Legacy, which means that it was started, but it continues through different paths. And so when we see this new Black Panther coming of age, we don't always have to compare him to the original Chadwick Boseman, because Chadwick Boseman is and was the first Black Panther, and nobody can ever change that, at least on screen. But we cannot hold every single Black Panther after him up to Chadwick Boseman standards. That doesn't mean that I agree with the casting, doesn't mean that the casting is good or not, but it just needs to be the right actor and a good actor. I think that's the most important thing, and a great story on top of everything, which I think, frankly, it might be a little bit more important than anything else. Because you can have the best actor in the world, but if the story sucks, nobody gives a fuck. So that's the most important.
I'd have to go completely against what you just said in terms of what we can't do. We have a responsibility, because one of the things that you and I discussed for many years is the lack of a Black superhero character that we could identify with, that we could be proud of, that we as a community and culture could say, this is my Black Panther, or whoever it would have been in that time span that we talked about it. Chadwick Boseman is responsible for not only giving us that, but giving us that at such a high level that I think it's going to be hard for any superhero moving forward of Black and melanin descent to accomplish the feat that he was able to accomplish. He took a character and made it the highest selling character movie that Marvel has ever had. Marvel went and didn't like it and did some bullshit. We all know the bullshit that they did, but it will never change the fact that we as Black people can own that saying and own that right to say we were the highest grossing movie that Marvel ever had. And it was all due to the performance of one Chadwick Boseman. So much that they thought at in the MCU and at Disney Studios that basically, or Marvel Studios, that we're going to remember this character in a monumental way. We're going to do a movie, give him his send-off, and then we're going to tell everybody that his character, since he did such a phenomenal job, he gave his life. This is not just about Black Panther. It's about the journey in which Chadwick Boseman went through to give us Black Panther T'Challa. I think it's going to be hard, and I would never try to compare any other actor to his performance or to his character, which is why I don't have a problem with the way that they wrote the script in saying that he's the son of T'Challa. He bears the same name as T'Challa, but the Black Panther T'Challa that we recognize as being the first Black Panther that we engage with on big screen is that person, and will always be that person. Just like we identify Wesley Snipes as Blade, and the only Blade that we ever will identify as, even though we were also going to accept a Mahershala Ali reprisal of the Blade character. We were willing to accept it, but we never once said Wesley ain't our Blade. We never once. You know why? Because we again honor those characters who we looked for so long. When you have an actor that portrays them at such a high degree that you recognize that individual as that character, even though you realize these comic book characters are fictional characters. But because you played it so well, we can identify with it on a real level. So David, I would never put him up against a Chadwick Boseman. Now, can he carry on the legacy? I don't know. That's yet to be seen. But that's exactly what he's doing, is carrying on the legacy of T'Challa. As soon as you start saying he's T'Challa, that's where the argument is going to arise, because people are not willing and won't separate the character from the actor when the actor made the character into what he made the character. And that's that's why whenever you have these Chadwick Boseman conversations, it gets really intense, because he made us feel like we finally made it. Like every time I see Black Panther, I smile on the inside, bro.
Yeah.
I smile on the inside because he was able to bring such a royal and exquisite representation of the character. Same thing goes out to my man Wesley. So I think that's what a lot of people are having the problem with. And I think that immediately, as soon as they think they hear T'Challa and they add David's name to it, then that's where all the vitriol and everything comes out, and they're like, oh no, he's not Chadwick. Well, that's why I'm like, no, we're not saying he's Chadwick. We're saying he's carrying on the legacy of what Chadwick already has imparted.
Okay, so that was beautiful, by the way. I think that it will calm some people down when they realize that this isn't the reboot of Black Panther, and they're trying to recast the Chadwick Boseman character T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, who fought, the Winter Soldier for killing his dad, and this is the offspring that was essentially raised up in Haiti, if I'm not mistaken. Hence why his name is, if I'm not mistaken, T'Challa. What was the other name? Toussaint, right? Yeah, Toussaint. In honor of Toussaint Louverture, who, essentially was the one who fought the French Revolution. Okay, and like Haiti's warrior. Also had some part of the Louisiana Purchase because they had to sell it off so that they could fight Toussaint. Like one man in the army to fight for. Like y'all need to look him up. But I'm okay. I'm gonna go here. This is gonna be messy, okay? This is gonna be messy. All right. I'm just gonna say it off rip. This is gonna be messy. I'm gonna say it as best I can. Okay. So my wife and your wife, I believe, are somewhat similar. Ty, I can't speak. I've met Kim, but we haven't had a chance to know each other for years, at least as of yet. And so there's a reason. No, I'm talking about Anthony's wife named Kim too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when your wife saw that Aaron Pierre was gonna be in Green Lantern, she's like, all right, I'm gonna watch that. She probably watched Aquaman, okay, as well. All right. When my wife saw that this is gonna be the new T'Challa, she wasn't as enthusiastic about it. I wonder if that will be the same way a lot of other women or those that need the aesthetics of the role to hit, if it's going to have an impact on that portion of the populace that finds that significant. For me, not so much. I don't go or see shows because of how hot or how fine somebody is. Like, it just, if somebody happens to be hella attractive in a show, then that's a plus. But it's not the reason why I watch a show or a movie, right? For others, it is the reason. Like, oh, I'm gonna go see Aaron. Hey, Am I being too? Am I saying? Did I? Do you get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, I think with him specifically, there's a lot of other things that I think people still are warring with, and the fact that all these British actors keep getting all of these American roles, or not even American roles in this case, because this is more of an like you wonder when some of the things, because Ant spoke to it earlier and was like, why not get an African to play an African? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is so hard about, casting when you see that everybody on the X-Men cast damn near never acted in a movie, but gets roles. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying that the right person who gets casted is getting casted for their audition a lot of times. Like sometimes an audition is so great that, as a director, you're like, oh my God, you embody what I envisioned, and I want you to play said character. I don't know what his audition was like, but clearly his audition was good enough for them to say, you are the next Black Panther. I think that first of all, you have to think about who has leverage and say so in terms of who gets cast for the Black Panther. If you think for 1 minute that what's the director of Black Panther? What's the name? I just forgot it.
Ryan Coogler.
If you think for 1 minute Ryan Coogler wasn't instrumental in this decision of getting him as the Black Panther, then you're sadly confused and mistaken. And Ryan Coogler will be the first person to tell you that Chadwick Boseman will always be his Black Panther. Nothing will change that to the day that he dies, that Chadwick will and always embody T'Challa, the Black Panther. So for him to sign off on young David, then that to me, the director who looks at said actor and says, you embody the role, what I've envisioned for this character, I feel like he must have had a great audition. I saw him in The Long Walk.
I didn't like that movie.
Did you see Alien Romulus?
I did see Alien Romulus as well. I'm interested more than anything to see him pull off the accent. That's more than anything else. I want to see, because I think everything else is manageable. He doesn't have to do one stunt. That's what you got a stunt man for. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to do anything for me exceptionally outside of pull off convincing me that he's of Haitian descent, convincing me that he is able to pull off that accent. That's it. That's all he's got to do. That's it.
Here's what I think has to be. I mean, I think should be heavily considered by those who are watching and intend to continue moving on with this MCU. Mm-hmm. I believe that officially, whether or not you believe this has similarities to the comics or not, we are officially in uncharted territory with where they're going with T'Challa. All right, because of what happened with Chadwick Boseman. And as of right now, it's almost no way to truly book by book, page by page, make comparisons with what they did in the comic books versus what they're doing on screen. All right, like we are officially past that at this point. Yes, you can bring up certain storylines that have vast similarities, but frankly, none of them are going to have an actor who played the character in the comic book passing away in the middle of big movies that are being shot, such as the Infinity Wars and the Avengers and all of those. So I just feel like this is almost like retcon, live action retcons, where they can move forward as if they're stepping into an alternate universe. And because this is a universe that we don't have the same history and things that have happened to lead up to this point, we can go anywhere from this point, and people can't really say, oh. They can say, okay, yeah, Storm and T'Challa hooked up in the comic, okay, in some of the fantasy comics, and even in the cartoon, all right, but it doesn't necessarily mean for a fact that they have to do it here, and if they do that, it's because it I don't know. It's just you got to make way for things to not happen the way you expected them to, henceforth, because it just will not be, unless somebody can correct me.
I mean, I feel like so many people want this to happen that Marvel's going to do it. It's almost like when you're watching Family Matters and you're waiting for Urkel to say the line. Like, they're going to make T'Challa and Storm a thing. It's, and I just had this conversation with my wife. I was like, I get, as a comic book fan, I get a little, I look at it differently, because I'm like, Storm, a character who's been around for like 40, 50 years, has all this history, all these great things, leader of the X-Men, took down the Morlocks, most powerful member of the X-Men, all these great things to her. She has this 40-year history. She was married to T'Challa for like 3-4 years in the it was a very short amount of time, but people gravitated to that time so much that it's what people talk about the most. All the other things that she did get overshadowed by her relationship with T'Challa, unfortunately.
That is very true. Yeah, that is true. And from what I understand, in the long run, T'Challa kind of did some real shiesty shit to Storm, and hence why she's a little bit more Craig from NASA now. But as far as this goes, this one thing that they did that we're not talking about is they have put Black Panther back into the fray. I assume we'll be introduced to some of these characters before another Black Panther movie. So Doomsday, Secret Wars, so on and so forth. But we're now talking about Black Panther. Huh?
Yeah, because Black Panther is heavily in Secret Wars.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we're now heavily talking about Black Panther 3, being a thing. And that's a whole new wave of excitement that we have yet to really get into. Just look at what they did. We just got Storm and Black Panther. Mm-hmm. Like Anthony said, I don't think there's a coincidence there. You know what I'm saying? And if they tie this together the right way, ooh,
the tie isn't the tie Secret Wars, and the tie is, the X-Men are in Secret Wars, and so is Black Panther.
Marvel does this thing where they combine a lot of different stories. In the comics, there's like 4 different Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Like 4 different ones that all get mixed together. The one with Black Panther, with Spider-Man had the black suit. The one where there's incursions and the Earths are colliding together. The ones where they have Battle World. They all get mashed together in the one story in people's history. So Marvel's probably going to mix all that shit together. Probably. And like we see this stuff in the cartoons or in the shows, and that's the ones that stick. We saw Secret Wars in the Spider-Man cartoon. You remember that with the Beyonder?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Beyonder showed up, and he was able to pick his team. And Storm was there. Rogue was there. Not Rogue. The Fantastic Four was there, and they were all trying to take down Dr. Doom.
Okay.
So my expectation is for them to continue to do what they've always do, which is take what people love the most about different aspects about Marvel and make that what they put in the MCU. You like Miles's friend Genki? We'll call him Ned and give him the Peter.
That's so weird how they did that. All right. So speaking of Marvel just doing what they think people like, a lot of people are demanding that there's a live action Miles Morales, since we're now coming forward with this Black Panther, this Storm. There's been some rumors that the live action Miles Morales is getting closer and closer to actually being considered, and possibly even scripts. No, nothing like that. No, you sure? Nothing. positive. What did you talk to? You talked to Feige? That what he said?
Look at it this way: Spider-Man just made Sony. Peter just made Sony $1 billion in 3 days. $1 billion in 3 days. The cartoon movies, they cute, but they not making $1 billion. That's their way of dipping their toe in the water with Miles, right? Like they don't really know if Miles is going to perform the way we know it's going to perform. This is this thing where Hollywood always has this cognitive dissonance where even though black movies can do so well in the box office, it feels like every single time we have to constantly, well, not we, but black films have to constantly prove themselves. So no, I don't think they're going to sit there and look at Tom Holland movies making $1 billion and think of doing anything other than making more Tom Holland live action movies.
Nah,
straight up.
I'm gonna disagree with you because I believe that Tom Holland himself has a vested interest in passing this baton.
He's not the decision maker.
I know he signed a contract to do 3 more movies. So
and you know what? Hugh Jackman said he was done with Wolverine. Chris Evans said he was done with Captain America. Robert Downey Jr. said he was done with Marvel. And you know what Kevin Feige did? He gave them that one magical kryptonite, that one green thing that always gets us down to do whatever the fuck. Money.
Check. Yeah.
And when he showed up with enough money, Tony was like, I'm back.
That's fact.
I'm back. We back. Tom Holland just made like 20-30 million for this movie. You know that, right? He made big bucks for Spider-Man 4.
Well, I'm just saying they cannot. I know we love Tom Holland, and I saw a post the other day that said something like, it's kind of cool. I feel like I grew up with Tom Holland. So the youth feel that way as of right now. Feels weird that I just said the youth like that. I feel like a deacon.
Sorry.
So now we get into the realm where Tom Holland becomes within the next few movies. Tom Holland will be the eldest of the Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Because he said it himself. He's like, look, he should start to be introducing either Jessica Drew or Miles Morales. I think the writing's on the wall. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I feel like if we're introducing Jean Grey, we're introducing T'Challa.
I think it's
on the horizon.
We're close. I think we're close, very close. I'm also agreeing with you, Vince. I think that we have not gotten Miles Morales yet, but I do believe that probably in these next 2 years, we will have a clearer perspective on who's playing live action Miles Morales. Maybe he does a cameo in Secret Wars. Because again, Anthony's right. There's so many different stories in Secret Wars with Battle World, with the other 3 volumes, and the thing about it is Miles is in that too. So like, I mean, there's definitely room for him. Via the Fantastic Four, via his own universe, through one of the different Spider-Man universes. But we're closer, I think, than we were 5 years ago to getting I think because I think we get another Spider-Verse movie. Spider-Verse movie coming out. That's already work, right?
The trailer leaked for it. Yeah, the trailer leaked for the new Spider-Verse movie, and there's a date, so it's coming in 2027.
2027. Okay, which is next year. So I believe, I believe around that time, or even maybe even before, we'll have a clearer perspective in terms of who they or what age range, because I think that's really probably what they've been battling with, is what age do we want to bring Miles in? Do we want to bring him in as a kid? Do we want to bring him in as a pre-adult? You know, like where, what do you,
you know what I think would be the, you know what I think y'all would be the best thing for them to do? You bring Miles, Marvel. I'll let you right quick. You bring Miles in as like a cute little
man,
I got tiny little baby little curly haired boy.
I got
everybody like, oh, like, oh, you so cute. And then you come to find out he gets bit. You know what I'm saying? And you follow him all the way through his, his troubles as being a Spider-Man and doing, he's one of the few Spider-Man, that doesn't have as much familial tragedy as the other versions of Spider-Man in terms of like losing his mom and his dad and all that.
You don't know Miles' story.
Oh, did he lose Rio? I thought that for the most part.
You don't know Miles' story. So let me give you a quick little crash dump on Miles' story. So here's what made me angry when I walked out of Brand New Day. Y'all saw my reaction. I walked out of the movie really pissed off. One of the main things that had me so infuriated was the fact that Peter didn't die. Peter didn't die. Now, the comics, the Ultimate Comics, where Miles Morales originated from, that was a major part of the introduction of Miles Morales. When Peter Parker died, Miles Morales stepped into his role as Spider-Man. What we found out was that Miles had already had powers. He had powers for years, never used them until he got inspired by seeing Peter Parker's death. So, and you know how Peter Parker died in the comics? He got shot by a sniper by the Punisher. So when I saw this movie and this man died, and then you see in the crowd, people are watching as Peter is getting carried to the hospital, just like they had in the comics. I'm sitting there thinking, this is when they're going to have Miles point to him and be like, I'm going to have to step up. I'm going to have to be like Peter. I'm going to show that I've had powers and I've been hiding in the background like Jean Grey was. This is my moment, but they didn't do that.
Did they? Did they not?
Peter got better.
No. See, the moment you just described was the moment that Peter walked out of the hospital and Punisher was up there playing in his costume like he was Peter. But did you see in that moment when he walked out, there was a little boy wearing a Spider-Man costume sitting on his dad's neck. The dad was looked like a bald-headed big black dude. And on top of him was sitting this little boy in a Spider-Man costume that they zoomed in on this little boy and a little bit longer than usual. Now they didn't say that was Miles, but there could have been an implied camera angle to say this might be Miles Morales. Now I've seen Spider-Man now twice, and I saw it on IMAX. And on IMAX, that moment, they really zoom that camera in. They start on the right side and then end on the left side of that boy, and his face is the last thing you see before they split to the next scene. And I'm just saying that could have been implied that is little Miles on top of his dad's shoulder.
So here's my other beef with MCU Spider-Man, and that it's that they always take from the other iterations of Spider-Man in order to enrich this version of Spider-Man. So they've taken so many things from Miles's character already. Now that person that I remember, that little kid at the end, I was hoping that dude was a big burly brown man with a bald head and a police uniform. I was hoping this little kid was going to be a nice little crown, have a crown on his head and speaking a little Spanish, but that's not what I saw. That's not what I saw. I saw a like a Hispanic. I don't even know. He could have been something else. He might have been
biracial or Hispanic. Yeah.
But he definitely did not pass to me like he was like African American man. And that little boy on his shoulders did not, to me, look like he was an African American child.
Oh, you were talking about the dad. Now the dad definitely looked
Someone
like
is at the front door.
Neither one of them to me looked like he would. Nah, neither one of them. I saw the movie. I remember this moment because I just remember how excited I was in the theater when Peter got shot. Like I was literally in the theater with my son. Like, this is the moment they're about to do. Like I was at Endgame. I was like when Captain America picked up the hammer. I was like, they're about to introduce Miles. Like I was like, wilding. This is it.
But that would be so sudden, don't you think? Like if they had just if Peter got shot.
What do you mean? He had 4 movies. He's been in like 8 movies. How's that sudden?
But that's very uncommon for us to get introduced to any Marvel character of significance without any kind of thread line to a foreshadowed moment. You know, with no normally if you follow
him being forgotten and then dying.
I'm just saying, like
his Aunt May, nobody remembering him.
Oh well, I guess if you really look at it that way, if he just does die,
like this huge.
This would have been a bad movie to die in.
I want to be noticed. I want to be an Avenger. I reach this high. I save the world, and then everything comes crashing down, and everybody has to forget me, and then I die and I sacrifice myself. He could come back later, maybe, but it could be them. Never mind. I'm going on my rant again. I'm sorry. I was just hoping that this was the introduction to Miles.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. Brand new day, you know what I'm saying? The whole phrasing of it seems to make sense. That's why I was hoping that some sort of it, you know, there's a couple of missed, or perhaps it's just Easter eggs. Was I the only one that thought that the young lady that bumped into him in his building was Black Cat? Did y'all see the blonde-haired young lady?
Yes.
Did I automatically think Felicia Hardy or something of that sort? I immediately, the scope of the movie went into her character and how, you know, like, so for me that felt very foreshadowy, you know, which is again why the movie felt a little filler to me, but you know.
Yeah, you keep on saying it was filler. It was a damn good movie, man. It was a good
movie. With
a filler movie doesn't make $3 billion in 3 days. I'm just saying that. I mean, $1 billion in 3 days. It doesn't. That's not, the fillers don't do that.
You know, I went back.
It's overwhelming. Like you're very much in the 1%, bro. Like it's an overwhelming. Yeah, it is. It's over. Like if you just go and read all of the critic reviews, the audience reviews, it is an overwhelming yes for this movie. Overwhelming. And it's deservedly so. Again, what I described earlier was, we understand, if you can go into this and watch this movie and understand that what it is, what it represents is just a tie-in. But you also understand that, look, just because it's a tie-in movie doesn't still mean it can't be great. Everything was great. The dramatic parts of the movie were great. The action parts of the movie were great. Like there was so much different stuff that made this movie. The cinematography was great. There was so many things that made this movie great. And look, they agree with me. I said it. Came first person on the show to come and say it. I believe and still believe this is the best Spider-Man movie, live action movie to date, because it showed you the version of. Oh, excuse me. Hey, I got sneeze. But it shows you a version of Peter Parker and Spider-Man that we haven't seen. We saw him and his expansion of powers, like the fight scene when he fought the Hand. We saw a move that we haven't seen except on the video game. On the video game, that move is on the video game. It goes up, comes down, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that move is on the video game. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God. You know, to see the first time, not the first time, but whenever we see Frank Castle cry on screen, or show emotion on screen, John Barenthal kills that shit. He has this way of giving you emotion despite being this very gully, very gritty New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? But he has that vulnerability that you like. You see and you're like, oh, I can identify with that. I can identify with the pain of loss and losing your entire family and not knowing kind of what your purpose is, and then trying to give back to your own city. Like I'm gonna take down crime in my city. I'm gonna clean up my city. I'm gonna help those who can't help themselves. Like there was a lot when it comes to this movie that I was like, yo, I like that relationship between Peter and Frank. Right now, Frank is, for all intents and purposes, Peter Parker's best friend. Why do I say that? Because there's only 3 people who know Peter Parker's identity. Excuse me, 4 people now, because Jean knows his identity. But out of the 3 people, we're talking about Ned, we're talking about his lady, we talk about Frank, and that's it. That's the 4 people that know Peter's identity.
Hey yo, you wanna do some real quick improv?
Improv.
Yeah, let's do some. You want to do some improv? Just do some. You got a phone?
Like
all right. I'm gonna call. Okay. All right. All right. Bye. Damn.
Oh shit.
You said it like that. You like, I got like we were like, damn. You didn't want to.
Nigga said improv. Nigga, I gotta.
Not just playing. Oh, I ain't.
Yeah.
Oh, you did say
like,
that. Okay, no bad.
What are we doing, goddamn?
All right, man. And well, that's cool, man. Well, thanks for sticking around for a little bit, man. I'm gonna post this John tomorrow probably. So you know, the raw.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this ain't loud.
Damn.
Word.
What happened? What did I do? What happened? I missed something.
I don't know what you did.
I don't know. All right, but yeah, man. Hey, I'm gonna holler at you soon, man, because I know there's something going down pretty soon.
All right, later, man.
Next weekend. So I'll hit you up about that. But all right, Aunt Burrs, it's Aunt everybody, the one and only is
the movie vlog
going out. All right, cool. Yeah, all right. All right, so I was gonna hit you up. I was gonna pretend to be John Bernthal ordering a pizza or a sandwich.
Yeah. Order the sandwich.
What? Yeah. Let me get a Philly cheese with extra cheese toasted on the bread. Throw a little mustard, a little relish. No tomato, no onion on that. You hear me? And what do you say about that? I don't know. He just feel like everything, the way he talks, whenever he said anything in the movie was just like so. It was so extra and so dramatic. Hey, Red, I made scrambled eggs. If you want, go into the cabinet and get a fork and a knife and a spoon. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, calm down. Just I don't know. It's funny his character. You know, which I remember. This was if you used to watch the cartoon, this was like an episode in the cartoon. It was also in the comics. I remember there being like team ups when there was always issues with Spider-Man. Frank, don't kill people. He's like, oh, Red, you gotta understand. You know, so I get that. You know, that element's kind of cool.
I wonder if John Barenthal is ever playing a character or if he's just playing himself. Because I feel like every time I see him, that like when he talks, when he's playing basketball, it's all the same type of energy. It's all still that. Like he's just that guy. So I wonder if like people are like, hey John, we want you to come be yourself again.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, so you know, like it don't matter what you know what I can see him in. You know what he missed? John Bernthal missed a very important era, in my opinion. Because I think he would have been heavily used in like the Martin Scorsese mob movie era. You know what I'm saying? Like the Vinny excuse me, Al Pacino, what's my dude that played my cousin Vinny,
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, and like that whole era, I feel like he would have been perfect for playing in like the Al Capone movies and shit like that. Like I see it.
I actually agree with you, but I also think that he would have been great in the era of the Clint Eastwoods, the Charles Bronsons of the world, like those type of, like he would have been a great Dirty Harry. He'd have been a great you know what I'm saying, like any of those type of, like he would have been great at any of that, because I've seen him actually.
Yeah. I guess I can see that.
Yeah, I could, because he just has that type of bravado about him, man. Like he's always kind of edgy, always on edge, and that's kind of that's why when he talks, it's like he's always moving. Hey,
yeah, I wanted to get a junior Whopper with extra cheese.
Yeah.
I should have did him at the window. Yeah, but he seemed like a cool dude too. Like according to what old boy said, Jeremy that comes on here, you know, he say that's who he is. You know,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I believe it. I believe that the whatever director calls him, they're like, "Hey, John, just want you to come and you know, be yourself. You know, do what you do." He's like, "Look, because
speaking of which,
I watched The Odyssey, and then I watched when I watched Brand New Day. I'm like, that's the same guy."
Literally, there was a scene where John Bernthal and Tom Holland were like walking through the forest, and he's like got a bow and arrow and shit. And I'm like, okay, this is Brand New Day.
It's it.
You know, it literally Zendaya is like in the next scene. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hold on, how the hell do we get, you know, Brand New Day? And it's directed by the dude who made Dark, you know, Night. You know, I mean, that's just how I see things. It's the lens. But I went to go see Odyssey again this week because my oldest hadn't seen it.
Well, how'd you see it? Did you see it in 4DX?
But I went to go see it 4DX. But I fucked up. I fucked up because I went to the same theater we went to. I took that same theater. But I thought that I bought the tickets because it said 4DX, but I didn't know that the theater was called 4DX. So when I got there, I was like, yo, the seats ain't. It was like, no, there's only, because they only show one movie at a time in 4DX. I thought all of the movies were in 4DX. So it ended up just being a regular movie. I was a little mad about it. Yeah, man. But
so you paid for 4DX tickets, but you didn't get to see a 4DX movie.
This is 100% my ignorance and laziness. It's 100% that. Because I didn't read the shit. I just looked up 4DX movie, blah, blah, blah. And then it showed me the tickets. And I was like, bam, that's the time I want to go. I didn't read to see whether, I just assumed that it was but it turns out it's just the name of the theater, you know? And yes, the only thing that was showing in 4DX was Spider-Man, which we had seen already.
In 4DX?
No, we hadn't seen in 4DX. But I guess I could have offered, but I took her there to see Odyssey because she hadn't seen it yet. So we had already seen Brand New Day. Man.
That might have been, see, you better than me. I might have been like, I'm going to go over here and watch this.
You know what?
You stay right here and watch this.
I might should have, but why you bullshitting though? I might, because she wanted to see Odyssey. You know, I didn't want to, I'm not going.
Man, but listen, had she ever had the 4DX experience though?
Yeah, you got me thinking, I probably didn't think that.
You dropped the ball on that one. You dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, that was the whole point of going to that theater. Because I drove, it was 45 minutes. My normal theater time is like 20 minutes. So I went all the way, like, it sounded like a long way.
No, listen. We discussed this. They do not have enough 4DX theaters in the country. So for me, I would have to travel 4 to 4.5 hours to get to the closest 4DX theater if I wanted to go see a 4DX movie. So so for 45 minutes is not that bad. Like, not that bad at all.
Well, I just felt a little dumb, but yeah, I should have. Yeah, damn, I feel stupid now because I sure as hell could have just went to see the damn Spider-Man DX.
Yeah, and then just postpone the Odyssey to another day or something like that, man. But
Damn, I didn't think
like
that.
Yeah, that. Oh man, that looks like a full on ride in itself. Just the seats moving. Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
speaking of Marvel shit though, I did see the X-Men. I guess this was the finale. You know,
I don't know that it was or it wasn't, but I definitely saw it.
I think it was supposed to be the finale.
Okay.
I don't know that for 100% fact, but I think when I looked it up, it said it was a finale. But you never know. No, I could be wrong, but well, I'll mention some noteworthy things that happened in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Gambit, I guess, officially becomes Gambit Apocalypse. Nightcrawler. All right. Spoiler alert for those who hadn't seen it already. Nightcrawler, I guess, ceased to exist to an extent. I have my doubts about that because, I mean, if that thing can give and take away life so easy, you know, I feel like, you know, he can be preserved somewhere and brought back. You know, it's not a clear death where you get the body and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're in a realm and, you know, give up life. What does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in a realm in which life doesn't exist, like, you know, we learned that which we did already kind of know, but now we know, I guess, a little bit further the extent of the Celestials' influence over Apocalypse and the way that things function in the land of the mutants and the humans right now. We get back Rogue after supposedly, you know, because of Nightcrawler, and I guess is Apocalypse in a little ring now? You know what I'm saying? Like, did they put him in a little ring, and now he's, you know, just gave him to Cable? Is that what we doing? Is that what happened?
That's what it looks like we're doing.
We just put him in a little genie bottle, in a little case, jewelry case.
Yeah, put his soul in there.
Yeah, but you know, just and we'll probably keep it somewhere where somebody can find it and release him, right? You know, we're not going to like throw it at the bottom of the ocean or take it into space or throw it into the sun. Nah, we'll store it. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, and I know that his consciousness, at least, is what I think that they were able to bottle up, was his consciousness. This episode, and frankly the whole season of X-Men 97, I feel like it's been written phenomenally. I can't talk about enough how great each one of these episodes are, and how they get you really emotionally connected. Nightcrawler, this whole season is kind of like really spotlighted a character that I've always loved. Like, he's always been one of those characters that I didn't think got his due. And to see the show kind of really showcase Nightcrawler's skills, also just kind of the type of person that he was in terms of his how he moved, and you know, that last scene when he's talking to, and I was trying to think what the Celestial's name was that he was talking to. I think it was Edon or something like that. What let me see.
Uh-huh.
Let me see. Eson the Searcher. When Eson said, so you believe your sacrifice will be enough to you know, start anew for these, what makes you think your sacrifice? And then he said, I it's just faith. You know, that's the root of how Nightcrawler was, you know, in this entire season. Everything that he aspired to do, everything that he because I think there was like at least 3 to 4 episodes where, you know, he made decisions and all of his decisions were based off of, you know, his love for humanity, his love or love for mutant kind, and also his love for his sister and the faith that he's always believed in from the time we encounter him, from the first time we encounter him. But to see him sacrifice himself for Rogue, who he just found out this season was his sister, and how he put himself in between the line of fire, the last episode, when they were trying to kill Creed's Sabretooth son, like he I don't remember his first name, but
is it Grayson Creed?
Grayson Creed. Yeah. So like this entire episode, man, for me was just written so well, man. Like you see, you know, Rogue trying to sacrifice herself to bring Remy back to life, and thank God we got Remy back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing. We got Gambit back. Like this nigga was dead. Like, this dude was completely dead, but he comes back like he didn't miss a beat. Like he just like, oh hey, bullshit. You glad that old Gambit's back? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like to have him back and to have them kind of reboot. You know what I'm saying? Because for all intents and purposes, from the very beginning of the season, you realize that Cable has been traveling back in time over and over and over and over again, trying to save the X-Men and trying to save his mom and dad. And this was the first time that he's actually succeeded. Like, that's why he was so hell-bent on killing Apocalypse. Because he's like, look, I've fought you countless times. I've helped y'all fight this dude countless times. And every time, we lose. Like every single time we lose. So if I can ever get an opportunity to take him out, it ain't nothing that's gonna stop me. If I gotta go through my mama and my daddy, if I gotta blow up Charles Xavier's $1 billion center, if I gotta destroy the force field that protects this whole community, I'll do all that and more just to get this the body Apocalypse. And that was like for me to see all of that kind of unfold the way it did, and then finally to see Rogue come and save Remy and him get a second chance at life, only for one of my favorite characters, Nightcrawler, of this season, to ultimately sacrifice his own life so that they could move on. I did feel a certain kind of way though after he did that, and everybody was all smiles. I was like, well, damn, ain't no sadness for my man's loss. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we just looking at his picture, smiling because we here and he's not. Like, you know, we like, oh, like no tears. You didn't shed no tears for your brother, no nothing.
It's like, so hard to say. No, Lord, take me, Lord, take me, Lord.
It's quite easy.
Take me, Lord, please, Lord. No, Lord, take me, Lord.
Yeah, man. But this, seriously, X-Men 97 has been so phenomenal, man. It's been such a good ride, bro.
What happened with Rogue? Because from what I see, Cable's little shot to the head was completely useless. It did absolutely nothing. It was only thing it did to slow him down a little bit till Rogue got there. But Rogue was what? Super powered up with what she got from the Celestial. The Celestial gave her celestial energy, like some of the celestial energy that. So she was able to go, and her intention was essentially to commit Rogue suicide. Yeah, and she was going to go absorb Apocalypse, absorb all the power, and then I guess that was going to be it. But
not absorb, but I don't think absorb is the right word. contain. She was sent to contain Apocalypse, and that's what she did.
Okay, so
She was
in the little
imbued.
tool thing.
Yeah, she was imbued with celestial powers, enough celestial power that she was able to overpower Apocalypse's consciousness from Remy's body and contain it within that purple gem that she gave to Cable. So that, which was dope. Like, it was dope to even see her in the fit. You know, like you get imbued, you get a new fit, and that was dope. And but again, like I said, to the biggest takeaway is the sacrifice made from Nightcrawler, that she never even asked for. You know what I'm saying? But because he loved his sister so much and he wanted to protect her as her brother, he was willing to sacrifice himself for a greater future for the X-Men and mutant kind in general. And once again, leaning on his faith that he's always taken every opportunity in every episode to kind of give you drop those little gems of how he views the world. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was dope. I thought every episode was dope.
Okay. The Storm was very limited, I feel like, but I wasn't too mad at it. They elaborated on the story. She was still present in the episode. She had her her scene with Forge, and she still was in a leadership role, and there's all of that.
And why you say she was limited?
I feel like there was a lot more Storm activity in the first season. I feel like it wasn't nearly as much in this one, which, hey, what I'm saying? Like, what
isn't that atypical though? Isn't that atypical of the X-Men series? Because what they do is like they basically go from each character and, you know what I'm saying, kind of give them their spotlight. So I think first season was Storm. Second season for me was definitely Nightcrawler and probably Cable. Nightcrawler and Cable mostly. And then well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm talking about in terms of the X-Men, but yeah, I know the villains or whatever, but this was mostly about Cable's journey, from becoming the little baby Nathan to Cable, and his destiny is to stop Apocalypse, and then Nightcrawler's finding out that he's got these siblings, and his relationship with Storm, and I mean not with Storm, with Rogue and his other siblings, and then the ultimate sacrifice, coming down to the ultimate sacrifice that he was able to do to save them all and give them that one chance that they hadn't had. And then maybe next season it'll be more focused on Wolverine, maybe Jean Grey.
I feel like the first two seasons was them. It was like it was more Storm, Forge, Jubilee. Remember Professor X was on another planet or was somewhere else, and it was like him being dead and not really, they didn't really know it. So it was a lot of Magneto and the whole triangle with Gambit and Rogue. But this one, it was
everybody. You just named pretty much everybody. The first season was about everybody. It was the relationship between Morph and Wolverine, how Morph is really in love with Wolverine. Then you had that separate relationship with Scott and Jean, where Scott has basically two women that he's dealing with. Then you had the relationship, the throuple with Gambit, Magneto, and Rogue, where Magneto and Rogue had their relationship. Gambit and Rogue had their relationship. Magneto and Gambit had their relationship. Like, then you had the introduction of Nightcrawler who comes into the fold and later on
and don't forget about Jean, the other Jean that Cyclops had to deal with.
That's what I was saying. That's why I said 3 women. Yeah.
Okay,
he was dealing with the Jean, and then the other one who wasn't Jean, who was actually I can't think of her name right now. But then Charles had his relationship with the senator, whoever the one that Mystique just killed or and then took over her as her. You know, Charles and her had a relationship. She was the reporter, like him and like who kind of liked him, and they was like kind of back and forth with that. You don't remember that from last season?
Vaguely. I don't remember a whole lot.
Right, all right. Well, I say all of that to say that the first season kind of encompassed everybody. It just basically like one episode will be about this, one episode will be about that, and kind of you got everybody's collective relationships and how things kind of were. Now, when you get to this season, the focus was more on the people that I said, Cable, Nightcrawler, and the factions. That's another thing. The factions, X-Force, X Factor.
All that shit. Polaris had a little.
The other one that Wolverine's crew.
I forget. What was they called? That what?
X-Force, X Factor, and the gosh, I can't think of it right now.
I don't remember.
It was another one. It was another, but the factions basically. Yeah, those. So I thought that was dope. I thought that was extremely dope to tap into each one of these factions, so you know that they exist. So like, you know what I mean, like that's something that we hadn't seen. I think the as far as what we saw in the very first X-Men series, I think the most we got was the Omega Red and the fact that Wolverine was part of this mercenary crew back in the day that was, so they gave you a little bit of the Omega Red backstory and that kind of stuff. But this was literally you breaking down X Factor, X Force, who are the members. I like the way the episodes was set up when they would do it, when they would have X Factor or X Force, and then they would show you all of the members of X Factor and then all of the members of X Force, like it was an X-Men. It's an X-Men episode, but this episode is going to be about X Force, and this episode is going to be about X Factor, and these are all the members that are part of that. And so yeah, man, this season, I didn't think that the season could get better than the season one. But it did. I do believe that season 2 was better than season 1. Yes, I do believe that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nah. I feel like the Gambit death in season 1 hit so hard that it carried the season almost to an extent. And then you follow that up with Genosha. It was so many moving moments in this season. Yeah, it's Nightcrawler. Gambit. But that last season, man, I give it by a few inches. I'm gonna give the first season a little bit more of a better review overall because of bringing those moments out the way that they did. I mean, they could have killed them in a whole bunch of many ways, but Gambit going up the way he did and on the motorbike and going straight to the Sentinel, and that was the first self-sacrifice that we actually saw. So it kind of started it all off. But yeah, I'm still reeling a little bit over this introduction of the live action joints. It's a little shocking. I mean, this came a little out of nowhere, but to me, I mean, obviously this couldn't have come out of nowhere if they got this whole presentation set and all that, but I don't know, because I've been preaching to you and the panel for the longest that I believe that the X-Men would be better served if they conducted themselves as an Avengers-like group, where you don't just put them together on screen and say, okay, now we have a 2 to 3 hour set of time to get into all of y'all stories and to make the audience love all of y'all and a villain and I feel like it could be more. Now that they've introduced Jean Grey in Spider-Man, I feel like it would make more sense to me to have softer introductions rather than throwing them all in as a cast at once. That has proven not to be successful for all of the other iterations. I feel like, except for I feel like First Class was a really good one, but the other ones haven't really withstanded the test of time, so to speak. So why keep repeating that same cycle? Give us a Storm movie or Storm meet somebody else. Introduce them through the characters' individual movies. Then build up.
Isn't that what they're doing though, Vince? I mean, like, who's to say, Vince? Who's to say they're not? I mean, like, you just saw Jean Grey being introduced in a Spider-Man movie. You could very well see other characters being introduced in other movies. So the Professor X, you may see him somewhere else before you see him in an X-Men movie. You may see Wolverine. You may see other characters within the Beast. You may see all of them in other things before you actually see the X-Men. And listen, we haven't got an X-Men movie yet. We haven't even, as far as I'm concerned, I don't even think they've started shooting an X-Men movie yet. So whether or not we're getting an X-Men series, X-Men, you don't know what we're getting. We don't know. Like, I'm not saying we are. I'm saying we don't know in terms of how they're going to roll this out. All they're doing is showing you that we have identified who the actors will be that are playing these characters. So look, we're gonna let y'all know. All surprises. Here we go.
That's a good point.
These are the new actors that are playing said characters on the big screen. So now
I think I'm with you.
So I think all of the speculation goes out the door. All of these vlogs and podcasts and all of these different platforms that have been making suggestions as to who they think this person should be and that person should be. Those days are over now. Now we don't have that anymore. Now we know officially these are the people that will be playing these individuals on screen as the X-Men. So how we get those rollouts still yet to be determined. But I know that we just rolled out Jean Grey in the Spider-Man movie. No telling where else you will see different X-Men pop up going forward.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, if you think about that in that way, okay, then what we may have just seen in the Spider-Man movie is how they plan to unveil some of the other characters, right? On the way out of here as we wrap this up. It might be exactly the formula, which is literally what it is that I'm saying, right? I'm saying the best thing to do is to give a form open so that we don't get characters out the blue for and we're like, we gotta, learn all these characters in one movie. We get a little slice of Sadie Sing's version of Jean Grey. Now, maybe in this upcoming Secret Wars, Storm is introduced low-key, or Black Panther low-key, or maybe even Professor X. And then maybe in another movie coming up, and as they slowly start to give us small introductions, then we get the. I'm with that. Yeah. And the cast, like I said, I think the cool thing about it is that we may not have pointed out is that they are hella young, so they're built to last a generation. You know, we grow old with this cast. Like a lot of people were saying, they're happy that they got a chance to grow older with. I mean, the younger generation got to grow older with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. It's this feels built to last the test of time. And I, for one, I'm not mad at the Storm selection. I think it hits most of the notes. Right?
I'm not mad. Would I have liked to see our girl Yetide? Absolutely. I think she still is my top cast. for Storm. Like, I just think she just embodies everything that Storm is naturally, ethnically, nationality. Like,
all right, we get it, man. We get
it, bro. Like, she just hit it. But if there were someone to defer to, I am not disappointed with Miss Maya Boyd. I think she's gonna do a phenomenal job. Again, whenever you haven't ever done a movie and a production like Marvel Studios is like, we believe you are the next Storm, knowing how important that character is to the fan base. I think she must have really knocked them out of their boots when she did her audition. So I believe she's gonna be amazing. So I'm looking forward to it. And one last thing, smaller portions are always easier to digest. Take that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Smaller portions are always easier to digest. So so if by what you were saying earlier, that instead of just giving us the whole pie off the jump,
right.
Give us pieces. Let us enjoy those smaller portions, and it'll make it easier to digest. Like giving us that little Sadie Sink reveal in Brand New Day now makes her way more easier to digest as Jean Grey when we see her in X-Men.
Good point. I agree wholeheartedly. All right, cool, man. Well, listen, let's check out Green Lanterns. All right, let's speak on that when we can. I said Green Lanterns, lanterns.
The lanterns, man. Lanterns.
The lanterns. All right. And then I think Rings of Power drops pretty soon. And also, we got to get back on our Star Trek chat now. That's going to definitely start next week. I don't know if you've seen
you missed. And see, I wish we could have talked about that this week because you missed this week's episode. And I'm very interested to hear from you about that episode because that episode is Star Trek's attempt at a horror movie.
Yeah, well, so now that's episode 2, right?
That's the episode that they're on the ship. They go out to the Griffin.
They go out to the Griffin.
Yeah, they went out to the Griffin. But the episode is shot.
It's like a ghost story.
As a horror.
And it's well done. It
was extremely well done. Which is why I'm like, I could see. We got to talk about it. We might have to do some linking during the week. We got to hit up some people and bring them in on the conversation.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
But that most definitely, that episode made me leave there like, all right, Star Trek. I mean, if y'all trying to go dark with it, then just say that. You know what I mean? Like, Now y'all are going into the alien realm. I'm like, oh, okay, we doing aliens, Earth on Strange New Worlds. This
man. I mean, well, listen, they've been toying around with the going for so long anyway, so it ain't like this whole thing has been alien, but just to go into like the horror realm and to try to like, I was legitimately
convinced.
I was like, they're doing this well. You know,
it was a specific part. It was a specific part when I was like, oh shit. Yeah, we're fully.
When the lady was walking behind her,
we're fully committed.
Like, it was,
like, and when Spock is out here cutting his ears off, we're fully committed.
Bruh. She said, I'm just gonna cut the Vulcan out of you. I was like, oh shit, yo. So I'm on the Star Trek. So we gotta we'll stay up on the Star Trek, the lanterns and all of that, man. But I'll go ahead and get us out of here. Thanks on behalf of the whole crew. If you're not if you're a geek, go ahead. Let that good geek flag fire, all that good stuff, man. All right. Yeah.
We out.
All right.
Let me figure out. I'm here. I'm trying to figure out how to do.
What did you do? It's awkward, man.
All right. It's awkward. All right.
What are you doing, man?
Hi guys, it's Amanda Christine here, and I love the New Blurred Order. You guys should watch it.